Dog Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings and welcome to your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some preseason Steelers talk here. We'll make it a little bit more sensical than nonsensical, but we're not in regular season form. It's our first game breakdown. Literally just ended about an hour ago, Gingy. I know you didn't get to see much, but you got to see a little highlights here and there. Steelers come out victors against the Jacksonville Jaguars down in Jacksonville. I didn't get a huge Steeler take on it because watch it from NFL Plus, you get the home team. I got the Jaguars take on it, and little confusing when they were calling Steelers by the wrong, names. At one point they were giving Castro all this love when it was in fact Thornhill making the plays. But a preseason win, does it matter, Gingy? Yes or no?
Mutant Gingy in the house. We're back with football, baby. Let's go. My favorite time of year, Donkey. Does it matter right now? I don't know. Does Mason Rudolph coming in throwing 9 to 10 in a tut matter? Probably about as much as a few years back when Kenny Pickett comes in, goes 8 for 8 and throws a tut. So
little different here. That'd be like Aaron Rodgers doing it. Okay, we know where Mason sits. If Aaron Rodgers didn't sign, I think this would be a little more hype train moment. But honestly, Mason looked the way he's looked a lot of his career. He was decisive when the first read was open, and then struggled when the first read wasn't there. He took a 10-yard sack at one point that really killed a drive where he held the ball for about 6 seconds because the first read never got open. So he's still Mason Rudolph. We've shown in the past that's a guy you can win with. I mean, as a Steeler starter, Mason Rudolph has a winning record. So, we'll take those stats with a grain of salt, Gingy, and I'll say backup quarterback position, the Steelers are pretty solid, okay? I think that's a fair thing to say based off history and the way he looked to start this preseason.
That's the biggest disappointment for me is that we didn't get to see what Sky. Okay, so yes, Thompson, fine, whatever, that's great.
Good third string. I'll be honest with you. I've seen him play in Miami, watched him make the throws here. He's a good third string quarterback.
I really wish that Will Howard didn't get injured so we could have seen him get some reps in the preseason here.
Yeah, fair point. Absolutely true. That really, does that benefit Skylar Thompson or does that benefit Will Howard? Because Skylar now will get a bigger chance to show himself, and if he shows well, you have to assume the Steelers being all in will keep him. But on the other side, do the Steelers not getting to see Will Howard against other teams maybe now get to keep a more rosy view as if he didn't have a bad performance? I mean, really a weird spot to be. That's the one injury to talk about. That was prior to the game. No one getting hurt in the game, though, Gingy.
Aesthetics aside, regardless of what it looks like, really just need him getting snaps. Good snaps, bad snaps, any snaps would be fantastic at the NFL level. But, getting out of that game relatively injury-free from what I've heard. Pretty clean game. Mm-hmm. They were putting points on the board.
Both teams playing very vanilla, preseason game like they should. No one taking any crazy injuries. I saw Trevor Lawrence try to run the ball one time, which was really weird. I also have to give the biggest shout out of the game. That little kid kicking a 70-yard field goal to end the first half was nuts,
insane.
Dude. And I was cheering for that ball when he smacked it. I was like, go! I mean, dude, that's what. That's pretty
70
sweet.
yards is huge.
Yeah, my God, the record's 66, and it still stays at 66 by Justin Tucker. And remember, this kick didn't happen in, I don't know where Tucker's was, but I know for the longest time the record was in Denver. This kick happens down in Florida, man. I mean, Jacksonville. What a kick from that, dude.
Huge.
Now, Gingy, I have both good and bad on the offense, defense, what I saw out there, who impressed me. Is there anything you want to talk about before I get into some of the talking points of what was going on in a very meaningless game of backups?
Yeah, some of the downsides, looking at the stats, still seeing Steelers not consistently running the ball.
Only time was when we got against the fifth-string defense at the end. Whoever the heck was in there actually did pretty good. I can't think of what that kid's name is. He's a rookie, but he actually looked pretty good out there. Not Caleb Johnson, by the way, for anyone who I might be confusing.
Right. No, other than that, Donkey, I don't like when teams score run touchdowns on us. Wish we'd lock that up.
The way it was scored was embarrassing. It has been a problem for the Steelers for a while.
Yes. So, other than that, I wasn't necessarily dissatisfied.
I'll tell you, biggest takeaways for me from this game was the more things change, the more they stay the frickin' same. The Pittsburgh Steelers, while the first string was out there for the Jaguars, mostly backups for the Steelers, are still playing this. We're not going to tighten anything up. We're going to give you big windows and hope you don't hit a big play, but we're going to let you get field goals at a minimum. I hate allowing other teams to score. It's what the Steelers have done for going on a decade now, and it looks much the same this year. I was really hopeful for a change, and maybe we will see that in the regular season. But really, the defense playing that bend, don't break style instead of that slam it down your face style, I was really hoping for a change, but we didn't see it at least this week. And just a physicality thing. When our first team offensive line was in there, they did okay pass pro, which surprised me against the Jaguars front. But they couldn't generate anything on the run block in Gingy. It's just like this lack of trying to win a game, just playing back and hoping the other team messes up, still seems to be the motto here. And there's a lack of physicality. The first team offensive line, that rushing touchdown you're talking about, the Jaguars guy gets hit up at about the 3-yard line. There's 2 Steelers, 3 Jaguars. I see 5 more Jaguars run into the play. Only 1 more Steeler runs into the play. And the whole time, Darnell, not Joey, Darnell Porter Jr.'s wearing number 39 and just standing there watching it happen instead of putting his helmet in there and getting into it. Gingy, we talked about this last year. I really started to point it out because I noticed it the year prior. These scrums, man, it's like the other teams go all in and the Steelers just watch. Those are the 2 biggest concerning takeaways for me from this is the more things change, the more it seems the same, Gingy. And that's a problem.
Really need those key components to work, Donkey. We talked about this all offseason. Need to establish the run up front first in order to unlock the pass. Right? If they're just gonna ramp, I understand that historically Aaron Rodgers is okay against the blitz, but he's not as spry as he used to be. Okay, he's not going to do a lot of...
Pass pro was good. I'll give him that.
We need that. All right, so I like that part. But, Donkey, we need to be able to run the football to score points on offense consistently.
Yep, you're not wrong. I agree with you. That needs to be established, or we need to be elite in terms of pass protection, and we were average today. So totally agree with you. Part 2, Gingy, I'd like to get your take on, because we talked about this going into the season. Offensive and defensive lines, the backups suck. I don't know how nicer to say it. And really losing Dean Lowry already essentially for the season, because we put him on IR prior to the start of the season, which I think means he's done for the year. Maybe not. Maybe I'm losing my mind. But losing Dean Lowry this early really showcased to me there's no depth on the defensive line, because Isaiah, why the hell am I here, Loudermilk? I thought we got rid of his ass after his rookie contract. Nope, brought him back. He gets a roughing the passer penalty that negates McCutcheon's interception, which, by the way, McCutcheon in Pittsburgh, great name. Hope the kid sticks. As a Pirates fan, the McCutcheon name is always awesome.
Absolute.
But Loudermilk just looks absolutely like a wash. Like, he does literally nothing out there. I don't understand why he's still here. Defensive line depth sucked. And if you watch the backup offensive linemen come in, it got better once the Jags put in, like, their 4th stringers. But against the early ones, man, like the 2nd stringers, these dudes could not hold up. That's scary. That's not something that's going to work well. Maybe the signing of Andres Pete, he started at offensive guard, was a backup last year, has 6 years as a starting offensive tackle, 2 Pro Bowls while he was a tackle down in New Orleans. Maybe that guy helps shore up the depth of this offensive line. But, man, you cannot be weak in the trenches. And if we have to go to any depth piece, we're going to be weak in the trenches.
Those are key positions, Donkey, later in the season that you need to make a run at it. So Is there any opportunity to acquire any additional depth at this point?
That's what you have to look at, is those guys who are fringe level starters that get cut from other teams, because it happens every year, right? Someone's going to be really loaded on offensive guard, and you're going to get a guy like a Brandon Sheriff that gets cut or something, right? People are really loaded on defensive line, and a guy like Dean Lowry is going to get cut, right? I know those guys don't sound like huge upgrades. You're like, well, let's just keep the kid, because if the kid's just slightly worse, why take the vet? Well, we went all in. That's why you take the vet, because we cannot afford to have a developmental guy taking snaps in key situations if this team wants to go all in, right?
That's right. Got to have an established plan, man.
Exactly. Like Jack Sawyer, I mean, he looked, in my eye, really bad. That Westcloth kid at end looked really bad. That doesn't bode well, because I think they really want to keep Sawyer on this team. He really needs to step up his play. I don't want to be all negative. There were some really good plays out there that I saw that I want to highlight. Juan Thornhill signed to take the spot of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Man, he made such a great break on the ball on one read. Man, people who love Trevor Lawrence need to teach him how to get to his second read, because one read, Trevor Lawrence almost got a wide receiver killed. Juan Thornhill reads his eyes, gets in there, breaks the ball up, almost comes away with an interception. Heck of a play. That's something you want to see from the guy who's going to be out there replacing Minkah Fitzpatrick, right? So Juan Thornhill, first of the shout out, Gingy. That has to be a little sigh of relief, right? That he looked good early on.
I agree. It's a big shoes to fill. And, yeah, I hope we get to see... I can't wait to see that defense as a whole put together. I mean, I have high hopes, Donkey.
Two other guys on defense that really stood out to me was Cole Holcomb didn't have a good game, but he looked as fast and as athletic as he did when we first saw him as a Steeler, which was exciting to me, even if he's just a depth piece at middle linebacker. If he's the same guy he was before, what a valuable piece he's going to be if he's still as athletic as he was. I'd love to see Cole Holcomb finally back out there on the field and looking the part, chasing down from behind Tank Bigsley, who is a capable NFL running back. So seeing the speed there was still nice. And then a little shout out to Eccles, the cornerback we signed from the Jets. Nothing crazy in the stat sheets, but on a screenplay, he almost breaks it up by pushing back into there. It just looked really solid on the outside. At one point, undercut a route in the zone that should have been an interception, but, defensive backs for a reason. But Eccles really looked good. And then the last note I really have on the defense is, man, I have to call him out. The way he got interceptions last year, the way he looked last year, I had high hopes Beanie Bishop was going to show up big. Man, Beanie Bishop just looked terrible in this game. I hope it's a one game off, but got to give the guys who did good Eccles credit and call out the ones who looked bad to me, which Beanie Bishop is one of the few that stuck out as being bad for me.
Dang, that's unfortunate hearing that from you, right? He had I guess I just put that 2 and 2 together. Didn't he have a Aaron Rodgers pick?
Last year, yeah, he did. He certainly did.
Very interesting. It's early season yet, Donkey. Give him a shot.
I hope so, but man, you have to think, you can't afford to have a bad game with how deep that defensive back room is. Like, think about it. You already have Slay, Porter Jr., and Jalen Ramsey guaranteed spots, right? That leaves one or two spots. They signed Nichols for a reason. He's coming and balling out, man. You really can't afford to have bad showings at this point. And he's a guy who last year we were wondering why he didn't get more and more playing time with the way he was getting interceptions. You got it. You got to show up. You got to all out. 3 games, man. That's all they get to make their spot, Gingy. 3 games for these fringe roster players. Now, offensively, this is what I'll say, Gingy. Caleb Johnson is a quarter step quicker than Najee Harris. He showed it on a couple plays. Don't know yet quite about the stiff arm ability, but I don't think we're going to see much of a fall off there. Trey Sermon looked okay, looked serviceable. The guy, I can't remember his name for whatever, the 5th string guy, he needs to get a few more spots out there. The running back from Notre Dame rookie who caught the touchdown as a wide receiver, number 38, Huselman or something. I'd like to see him maybe get a little more upper stats because I want to see him play against more NFL actual caliber players than non-NFL caliber players. But good to see him out there. Robert Woods looks slow. He should not make this team, in my opinion, unless somehow he gains speed between now and the start of the year. Because, man, he looked terribly slow. Side note, flip side of that is the Williams kid, number 85, caught himself a touchdown, did pretty good as special teams gunner. Hey, he's a guy that maybe should get another couple looks, making a contested touchdown catch on the outside on just a throw it up there and pray throw from Skylar Thompson. Made the catch, did a really good job. And I know the Steelers brought Jonnu Smith. I know the Steelers have Pat Freiermuth. But, dude, Darnell Washington is a frickin' cheat code on the skinny post. How the heck do you get body position on a dude who's 6'7", 270 on that inside skinny post? Here's the answer. You don't. The touchdown pass to start at the 19-20-yarder right up the middle from Mason Rudolph. Dude, you cannot cover Darnell Washington on that play. There's just no physical way to do it. I really hope that the additions of those two allegedly elite receiving tight ends does not stop them from using Darnell Washington, because this dude is a mammoth when it comes to blocking, and he's just so big in the receiving game. You know Aaron Rodgers knows how to use those type of body guys. He's done it forever in Green Bay with those slower wide receivers who are bigger. Man, let Darnell Washington get some plays, because I just don't know how you cover him.
It's huge, Donkey. Can't miss him either. He's huge.
It's a big boy. My goodness gracious. Outside of that, Gingy, there was not a whole lot going on. I know one of the more intriguing battles is Cameron Johnston versus Corliss Waitman for the punter job. I'm going to tell you right now, Corliss Waitman, dude, if he punts the way he did today and Johnson does the way he did today, much like last year, I don't know how you don't keep Corliss Waitman, Gingy. He's a guy we should have never let go 4 years ago. He's a guy who last year he came in and punted better than any punter we've had in like a decade. He was really good with Boswell on the holding side. I know so was Johnson in like the 2 games he played. I know Johnson's been a Pro Bowler before. I know he has crazy stats. But, man, they went head-to-head today. They both kicked to the same side of the field on, like, 2 consecutive drives. And Waitman outkicked him by, like, 17 yards. Yikes. It was crazy.
Yikes.
I like Cameron Johnson. I think he's a great one. I know he's been a lot more consistent in his career, and that's been the thing that's always held Waitman back. But after watching Waitman last year as a Steeler, and after seeing the first couple punts here, my nod has to go right now towards Corliss Waitman. And that, to me, might actually be the most intriguing position roster battle the Steelers have anywhere on the roster, like 5th wide receiver, 2nd wide receiver, any of those. Hunter might be the most intriguing battle we have, Gingy. And for once, it's not because they both suck, which is the craziest thing in my head, is that there's actually 2 good ones.
Nothing wrong with that, Donkey.
Think we could get a 5th-round pick for the one we choose not to keep?
Yeesh, that might be a reach.
I can hope. I can pray. Maybe, even the 7th rounder would be kind of cool. I guess there's one last thing we should talk about, because everybody wants to know what's happening with wide receiver 2, right? People are talking up Roman Wilson, and he's listed as 3rd on the depth chart at X receiver, which means what? Like 6th overall? Yet he came out and started. He made a couple nice catches, open balls, caught the ball. Really didn't see anything spectacular from him. Dark horse for the position. I heard that Aaron Rodgers has a lot of chemistry with this dude in practice. Scotty Miller, he came out and he does what Scotty Miller does every time he's on the football field, which is catch the damn football. I swear to God, this dude must be the biggest jerk ever, because he never seems to get opportunities, but when he does, he always catches footballs. Like, I don't know what Scotty Miller has done to the whole NFL to make them all hate him, but he just did his stuff again. Maybe we eke out a wide receiver 2 if we have 3 capable catching tight ends out of one of Wilson, Austin III, or Scotty Miller. Miller, Williams, any of the guys fighting it out. Maybe Robert Woods comes out of the graveyard. I don't know. But wide receiver 2, interesting battle to watch going forward, Gingy. And anyone who tells me Calvin Austin III has that job, I'm going to bring up the fact that if you're going to bank on a small wide receiver, you need to have 3 of them. Because as he's showing right now by missing this game because he's hurt, there's a high likelihood there's going to be attrition if you have a bunch of small guys.
Yeah, Donkey, we need to keep that running game wide open, bud. Absolutely.
So, Gingy, anything you want to talk about to end up? Because that's about all I had from the game. Anything you're curious about happening out there, or any stats that you're like, man, that just seems really awkward?
I'm all right with it, Donkey. It's the first game of the preseason. We're just getting started, baby. We're just getting warmed up. We're going to be here for all of it, don't you know?
We are. We certainly are. I think we got another one going ready for, next week we're going to go ahead and have some more talking points. Hopefully see some more things. Hopefully see a little bit more of the whole team. I mean, watching the whole offensive line do well in pass pro minus Simuwalu because he's hurt was a good thing to see. But man, got to generate some push on the running game. And that undersized right side of that offensive line from center all the way out to right tackle, not looking good. I mean, McCormick's average size, Zach Frazier undersized, Troy Fontanu a little undersized, and Gingy, that right side generates zero push, man. Run plays to the right, we're hitting the backfield, and run plays to the left, we're chased down from guys from the right because those 3 guys in particular just struggled with it. You mix that in with Zach Frazier's apparent snap issues in camp. I'm a little worried about the running game of the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the season, Gingy.
Yeah, I get it. And Donkey, that's not the one we want to be worried about.
Nah. I am curious to see if the Steelers start playing a little more aggressive defensively when they get the 3 corners actually out there playing. Today, we saw the starter, one of the starters at safety, and Thornhill out there. He's probably going to get some time, but didn't see the rest. There's no Deshaun Elliott, no Jalen Ramsey. None of our starters on the defensive line. Didn't even get to see Derek Harmon, who I was looking forward to, but of course got injured this week in practice, so no Derek Harmon out there either. If Wyatt Black played, I don't remember him playing, the big rookie nose that we got. Don't remember seeing him play at all. Rookie recap. Who else we got there? Jack Sawyer looked
meh.
He looked like a practice squatter. I'm not going to say not NFL caliber, not developmental caliber. I would say looked like a practice squad guy right now, a guy who just misses out on that 53-man roster spot, right? So see what we've got going there. Caleb Johnson to me looked good-ish. In the running game, showed a little more speed than Najee. He needs a good offensive line to be successful, is what it really looked like. So not gonna hit hard on him. Although the drop of the ball that went right through his hands, which I think was Mason's only incompletion, was quite terrible. That was such a perfect ball, and he just forgot to catch it. Who am I missing here on the rookie chart, Gingy? I know I'm missing someone that I need to talk about.
Darn to find now, Donkey. Yeah. We're still in preseason 2 here.
Yeah. Undrafted love guy Castro, didn't really see anything from him. Undrafted lineman Williams looked okay playing against the backups. Nothing special there. Although, kid, I'm still rooting for, boy from Anchorage. Got to root for him a little bit. Looked okay there. Stock up, stock down. I already told you the 3 players I thought had stock down and the 3 players I thought were stocked up. So that covers everything for me. Any other NFL news going on, Gingy, that you find intriguing? Or should we get to the shout-out portion?
Bring me the shout-outs.
Gingy, do you actually have one? There was a football game, so we could do a football.
Right. Shout-out football. I'll have real shout-outs are coming back. Football season's back, but this is my favorite time of year. Can't wait to see what the Steelers are going to bring. Looks pretty awesome so far, Donkey, right? right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. First off, I want to shout out all the Steelers out there who made this their first game. All those kids who get to fulfill their lifelong dream of putting on an NFL jersey and playing in the game, even if it's just preseason. Kudos to you. Shout out to the Jaguars kicker for hitting a 70-yarder. But I have to end it on a major call out. Dear NFL, I know you put in this virtual first down system to try to make the game better, and virtually tell where the thing is instead of a chain gang with a kink in the chain. But Jesus, man, you gotta get this to where it's instantaneous. This waiting 45 seconds, it happened in the game I watched yesterday. It actually took a minute 10, the game I watched yesterday. It took 45 seconds in the Steelers game today. For you to tell me the ball is 2 yards short is ridiculous. You need to fix this system. Football games already are long enough. Replacing the chain game with camera should make the game faster, not slower, Gingy. My God, fix this before the regular season.
I don't disagree, Donkey. Keep it moving. They got
And
the ability.
the thing works. It's just, oh my God, is it slow? I gotta let you know, I am the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey. Twitch or Twitter. Your daily dose Donkey Ginger is the awesome YouTube channel where you get all this magnificent content. We're getting serious. We'll probably have Laskers back when it gets real serious. We'll get some bug caps coming when the games really count. But Gingy, you gotta let the people know.
Absolutely. It's Mutant Gingy. We're hanging out. We're talking football. We're almost in the transition between sensical and nonsensical. 70-yard field goal. That's pretty nonsensical, Donkey. So we might be still in there. Here we go, Steelers. Wave them if you got them.